A quiet house. A cold Wisconsin night. The kind of silence that makes you notice every creak of the floor, every whisper of the wind outside. Then, the sound of a shotgun shattering the calm. Inside that small home were two loving parents and their 13-year-old daughter, Jayme Closs. By the time the echo faded, Jayme's world was gone and she was missing. 88 days later, she would do something that stunned the world. She would walk out of the woods and save herself. This is the kidnapping of Jayme Closs. It began in October of 2018 in Barron, Wisconsin, a close-knit town surrounded by forests and quiet roads, the kind of place where tragedy felt unthinkable. Jayme Closs lived there with her parents, James and Denise. She was 13, shy, sweet, and happiest when surrounded by family. And then, one morning, a stranger noticed her. His name was Jake Patterson, 21 years old, from a nearby rural town. While driving to work, he saw Jayme getting onto her school bus. That brief moment changed everything for him. He later said that as soon as he saw her, he knew she was the one he wanted to take. In the weeks that followed, Patterson planned it carefully, down to the smallest detail, believing no one would ever catch him. He drove to the Closs home twice before that October night, each time intending to abduct Jayme. But both times, lights were on inside, movement, activity, life. He didn't want witnesses, so he turned back. On his third attempt, he came prepared. He shaved his head and face to avoid leaving hair evidence. He put on gloves, a black coat, and a ski mask. And just after midnight on October 15th, he parked at the end of the Closs family's driveway, engine off, lights out, shotgun in hand. James Closs came to the door when he saw movement outside. Through the glass, he asked who was there, maybe thinking it was law enforcement. Patterson shouted for him to open the door. When James hesitated, Patterson fired through the glass, killing him instantly. Denise, terrified, grabbed Jayme and hid with her in the bathroom, locking the door. She called 911. The operator heard screaming before the call went silent. Within 4 minutes, police were on their way. But Patterson was faster. He broke down the bathroom door, shot Denise, and found Jayme. He bound her wrists and ankles with duct tape, carried her to his car, and locked her in the trunk. As he drove away, he pulled over only 20 seconds down the road, as squad cars with flashing lights sped past him, racing toward the home he had just destroyed. Jayme was gone. For the next 3 months, Barron became a town of search parties, candlelight vigils, and unanswered questions. Police received hundreds of tips. The FBI and local authorities worked side by side, but nothing led to Jayme. There were no suspects, no ransom demands, and no evidence of why she had been taken. Meanwhile, she was being held in a small, isolated cabin in Gordon, Wisconsin, more than an hour north of Barron. Patterson kept Jayme trapped under his bed for up to 12 hours at a time. He surrounded her hiding spot with bins and weights, making sure she couldn't be seen or escape without being noticed. When visitors came, like his father, who stopped by on weekends, Patterson would turn the radio up loud and warn her to stay silent. He threatened that bad things would happen if she tried to run. Sometimes he let her out for food or to walk briefly outside when he was sure no one was around. Other times, she stayed hidden in complete darkness for hours, without water, without breaks, afraid to move a muscle. As days turned into weeks, Patterson convinced himself Jayme was too scared to run. He didn't bother with special locks or restraints beyond those moments. He thought he was in control. But Jayme was watching, waiting, planning. On January 10, 2019, Patterson told Jayme he was leaving for a few hours. Before driving off, he placed her under the bed again, blocked it with storage bins, and turned up the radio, his usual routine. As soon as the sound of his car faded down the road, Jayme pushed the bins aside and crawled out. She ran barefoot into the snow, wearing only leggings, a light shirt. A woman walking her dog spotted her, thin, shaking, pale from fear but alive. When the woman asked who she was, Jayme managed to say, "I'm Jayme." They brought her to a nearby home and called 911. Within minutes, deputies had roadblocks up. Patterson, driving back toward his house, was spotted in his red Ford. He was pulled over, stepped out, and calmly said, "I did it." At his trial, Patterson showed no emotion. He confessed to everything, from his first sighting of Jayme at the bus stop to the murders of her parents and her 88 days of captivity. In May of 2019, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole. For Jayme, freedom meant beginning again. She was reunited with her family, given support, therapy, and care. The community that had searched for her now surrounded her with love and pride. When asked about her ordeal, Jayme said she was getting stronger every day, and she wanted to inspire others never to give up hope. Even the company her parents had worked for, Genio, gave her a reward for rescuing herself, acknowledging her courage in taking back her life. Today, Jayme continues to live privately, away from the spotlight. She doesn't owe the world her pain, only her example of strength. Because what happened in that house, in that cabin, and on that frozen January road isn't just a story about fear, it's a story about survival. Jayme was a victim for 88 days, but a survivor for every day since. Because Jayme's story isn't about tragedy, it's about strength. It's about the power to endure, to survive, and to reclaim your life from the shadows. Some crimes leave behind nothing but loss. But this one left behind something else, hope.